Twitchside Chat Episode 16. I offer this as food for thought. It's a little bit more doomy than some of the serious topics that I cover, such as the Twitchside Episode 14, the Activision Blizzard acquisition, possibly the ups and downs and what the ramifications. But this piece is how the death of critical thinking is giving rise and making mankind woefully unprepared to deal with AI. I would say enjoy, but I don't know if this is going to go over well or not. We'll see. Hold up. But anyway, so we're jammed by Captain Kangaroo and Crouch Kish. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
All things considered, yeah, good. You know, you guys were ripping it up. Yeah, you guys were ripping it up in Ready or Not when I got home.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing that later. We're gonna be doing that later for sure. But anyway, so to kick this off, I went ahead and typed in my Discord a thread. I'm gonna go ahead and read it verbatim. You're gonna actually, probably taste an aneurysm for me talking. But I was trying to wordsmith some stuff and try to figure out an intro, but I'm just gonna do it off the cuff. So, with mankind's perceived failure, on average, to maintain the skill to critically think for ourselves and doing independent investigation, and the rise of what alarmists are calling of the danger of AI fabricating audio, visual, and seemingly factual news articles, are we ill-suited to learn how to critically think digitally? It's my considered opinion that most people improperly use social media and live in echo chambers, myself included. I put forth to my community, what are your thoughts? For context, I actually threw up a video from Upper Echelon, which will be linked in the YouTube description. No one really said anything, but it was all word of mouth. We're having conversations through DMs and whatnot, and and Kish is here so he can actually speak for himself. I won't shove words into his mouth, but. Anyway, I went ahead and threw out some more stuff because my mind is just going in circles on this because I'm really thinking this over. So the unborn and unrefined thoughts and talking points, wordsmithing. Much like money, knowledge is power. It's leverage, and unearned money is easily spent and hard earned. Wisdom and knowledge is not long forgotten. However, the populace at large don't look at the new information with mostly skeptical minds and critically think about whatever is offered to them from most data sources. I'm reminded of Terry Goodkind's book, The Wizard's First Rule. And in it, it states, people are stupid. They believe things mainly because they either want them to be true or fear them to be true. That's a direct quote. So further, if one has already heard what is presented to them before, that individual is more apt to readily accept it as a truth. At least in a vacuum. And the reason why this is important, I mean, I heard a comic say this: if you hear it 3 times, you're gonna remember it. Well, I'm a badass millionaire. Oh, by the way, I'm a badass millionaire. Oh, I'm a badass millionaire. Oh, that must be true, right?
I never do that.
Right? Yeah, it's like, must be true. But anyway, my next point is those that do have the critical thinking skill set have in their mental toolbox the idea of doing independent study and research. And the most powerful engine behind that tool is actually in your pocket. Get your mind out of the gutter, Kish. It's your phone. We've been using the phone for social media, Facebook, anything, Twitter, Instagram, bleeders, whatever, I don't care. But, you have the sum of all human knowledge actually in that little phone, which is amazing to me. But we misuse that technology too. Myself included. I'm not exempt from whatever I'm talking about here. I gotta curtail some of this stuff myself. But be that as it may, so fake news and fact checkers that infest Facebook, Twitter, and other online news agencies like Fox News, CNN, MSNBC is more and more of censorship or straight out lying to us, the populace, through omission. Lies of omission. They're still lies. I don't want to get into politics. If you're lean left or right, red or blue, I don't care. It's all the same, and eventually it's going to get really bad for everybody. I'm not much of a doomer, but that's the way I see things, and things should keep on going in this direction. Anyway, my last point is engineered audio, video, and pictures created by AI programs are going to either force us to accept everything at face value, which is an incorrect or flawed currency to spend in the country of knowledge and wisdom. The other option is to add or develop another skill, digital forensics. Finding or sorting through metadata and staying apprised of all the different programs that can edit or create, literally from thin air, blatant lies that can be used to influence society further down the drain. So that's pretty much what I put out on Discord, and I want to go ahead and check in. Maybe I'm just being too much of a doomer. I'm gonna ask Krat Kish to write me a reality check. How we doing, man? Am I off my meds, or
No, I think you're pretty spot on. Doing pretty good. Especially with the whole thing to critically think digitally, because how many people just, see something, especially on social media, and just automatically take it at face value that's 100% true without doing any research on it. Right. Or even, not the digitally part, they just hear something through the grapevine and automatically believe it.
Oh, like I'm a millionaire?
Yeah, I heard that you were a millionaire earlier. I forget who I heard it from, but it must be true.
Okay, so, Captain Rue, how you doing, man? Is this a mental minefield or conversational minefield for which you are not equipped, or do you have any thoughts?
He wasn't really prepared for it too much. But...
I'm a critical thinker myself, so like you brought up about the fact checkers, because the fact checkers don't necessarily fact check. They more so say there's a thing that says, oh, this guy's wearing a green shirt. It'll come up and say, oh, that's false, and the fact checker will just say, well, it's more of a light green than a regular green. So it doesn't actually dispute what the article is saying. It just kind of says, well, that may not be 100% true.
Okay.
And then people would be like, oh, well, that fact checker says it was false. So that whatever you're posting is just wrong.
So basically, what you're saying is they're just flat out saying false in one, false in everything, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, that because that's not word for word exactly what was said, then the whole narrative is just wrong. And then most people will see that and be like, oh, well, this guy's posting crap because the fact checker said that he got one piece wrong, so the whole thing must be wrong.
Well, there is
to that lack of critical thinking, because it's like most people would be like, well, how much?
Let me check it out for myself.
Yeah, let me go research this real quick before I go and believe that. And then there's no way to dispute it either. So like once that false news comes up on there, you can't be like, well, your fact checking is wrong. They just kind of just leave it like, well, this is wrong and this is why we said it's wrong, and then that's the end of that. There's no question to it.
Right. Well, I do remember that there was a period in American history where they called it yellow journalism, where they wouldn't go out and actually research or go after the story. They'd just sit in their offices and type up whatever sounded good.
Make what they want. Yep.
Basically
that was
clickbait.
Yeah, well,
clickbait.
Yeah, well, it was buy bait, something that makes good headlines, and they, I think it was right at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. If I'm kind of hazy. I didn't really look for any historical parallels, but it seems to me that a lot of that stuff is going on now, and the thing is, back then when people would call out the bullshit and they say, hey, no, that ain't right, and then the journalists who weren't subsidized by the government, who basically had to live or die by what they were putting out, as far as a publication, which has changed in the digital world anyway. But if they had their facts wrong, they had to put in retractions. They were forced to, because if they didn't do the retractions, then nobody would buy their rag anymore. So you remember National? I don't know how old you guys are. Well, I know how old Kish is, but you guys know about the rags, the tabloids. The tabloids, the National Enquirer, ooh, mystery cryptid bat boy, or something. Just Elvis was seen in downtown New York. Ooh, whatever.
He's still alive.
Like, Leonardo DiCaprio is a vampire. Whatever. It's something really clickbaity, freaking title on this rag, because that's what they would call them, tabloids, and people would read it. It's like, oh yeah, horoscopes was in there. But palmistry crap was in there, just kind of that new age fangled bullshit. But it seems like it's gotten more mainstream, and a lot of that, what's the word I'm looking for? Philosophy is being put in. I mean, not to bring up old stuff, but like, look at what happened with Washington Post and the whole Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp. That thing, which I'm bringing that up for a very specific reason. Okay, so there was, for those of you who've been paying attention to that when it was ongoing, they had the defense, meaning Heard, had a picture, and they put in two different points of evidence, two different pictures, and they portrayed those pictures as being different, being taken at different times in the day. And the defense wanted to throw out the prosecution's, Johnny Depp's lawyer team. They wanted to throw out, or they wanted to shine a light on the metadata, where they could actually say, hey, this is the same picture. Everything about it's the same, and they're saying that this was taken at two different places for two different marks. But what happened is that it was the same picture, and it was run through an editor and altered in some way. Yeah, and by altered, it was like contrast or some shit like that to make skin tone change or whatever. And that's the critical skill set that needs to be put, or that's another tool that somebody like myself or you guys gonna need to put in our critical thinking skill set toolbox. But that's like, damn, how are you gonna know? Because like when I upload something onto YouTube or whatever, all it is just all up around boom MP3. You don't know what editing software I used. You don't know what soundtracks I used. You don't know what the data that went into it was used. You don't know any of that, which is scary.
Yeah, how you touched it up essentially.
Yeah, I mean
that's the thing. It could be just a little touched up. Could be completely touched up. Where,
well, not only that, but it could be completely fabricated. For just to put too fine a point on it, this could be not my real face. Maybe I look uglier than this.
This whole time it's been a scam.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we're just talking opinions.
But I think I kind of stand by that point. So the talking head section has been done. So we are gonna get to actual specifics. I'm gonna back up my claims. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went ahead and did a search: artificial intelligence problems on DuckDuckGo. Before we get to that, should I share the Google search story that I told you about yesterday, Kish?
Yeah.
Okay, so actually maybe I can find it. But somebody had what was it? Google search.
Oh, your camera's still in the middle of the screen, so you know.
Oh, it is, yeah. That's all right. Google search experiment results. Let me go ahead and move that over here so it doesn't look so disembodied. Thanks for the heads up, Kish. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Let's see. I should have done a better job of this. See, biased Google search results affect hiring decisions. I mean, it's already there. Yeah, I should have pulled that up. But anyway, I'll just tell you how it went. Basically, they gave 3 different people a laptop each. And they said, hey, for the next month, anything you do online, do it from here. We don't care if you look up, crustaceans of the prawn variety, or whatever. We don't care. We just want to know how your search results will show up after a month. And the 3 people that they chose a liberal, they chose like a Democrat, a Republican, and one who didn't identify as either one of those. They're just some average Joe Schmuckatelli. And after a month, this is when the riots of Egypt was happening, and they told all 3 of them in a room. They couldn't, they were at a table. They couldn't see each other's screens, and they just told them, type in Egypt. What's your top 5 search results? And on one, I can't remember if it was the left or the right, Republican or Democrat or whatever. They typed in Egypt, and then they said, the top 5 search results was how the government was working to alleviate the problems of their society or something like that. And this was ongoing during the oh, shut up, Google. Speaking of AI, they need to not listen to me. But and then the other fella, the other political beast, he typed in Egypt, and it was all about the riots that were going on, civil unrest. So that was wildly different, on what they were getting. So, there's a media bubble, right? The echo chamber stuff, because they only see what they want to see. And then they told the third guy who didn't care either way, and his top 5 search results was vacationing opportunities, the top 5 vacation spots in Egypt. So, I mean, there is a certain built-in bias because Google wants to predict what you're going to find, all right, and that's all predicated on ads and whatnot. So, yeah, I just thought it was interesting. That's why I use DuckDuckGo. It doesn't.
Try and learn what you wanted.
Yeah, it doesn't.
What you want to see.
Yeah, I don't want that. Because I'm open to differing opinions. I mean, that's why we have free speech. So.
Well, you'll notice if you type the same exact search syntax, like say, what color is the sky? Something basic like that, or what's the color of whatever. If you type that into different search engines, whether it be Yahoo, Google, DuckDuckGo, Ask.com, Bing, you will get different results every time. You're not going to get the same results in the same order on each search engine because of the way their algorithms are built and based on user data.
Right. That's exactly it. And I mean that's those algorithms are the predecessors to what the AI is using. Like ChatGPT.
The learning.
Yeah, the machine learning thing. So anyway, having said all that, like I said, I typed in ethical, top, and artificial intelligence problems, and there's 2 things that I want to highlight. Number 1, AI will make us lazy. Now, don't get me wrong. When I'm sitting there gaming, I don't want some random Joe or Jane Schmuckatelli coming in. It's like, oh, nice stream. How you finding the game? And then 30 seconds later, hey, by the way, I am a graphics designer. Give me, give me money so I can give you shit that is cookie cuttered out.
Yeah, the whole spiel.
That's an automatic ban here on Twitch. Twitch doesn't enforce that. I do. I was like, I don't give a shit. If you want to, approach me with a business opportunity and you want to grift money out of me, do it privately so I can turn you down flat. Don't try to put it on me, because I'll actually ban you flat out. There's no discussion. I don't give a shit. There's a lot of content creators out there that don't care. That little spinning... Hang on. That little spinning thing up... Yeah, there we go. That thing right up there. I paid for that. I went out and I found an artist that I liked. And I looked at what the work that he'd done. And I said, this is what I want. And he knocked it out of the park. So, yeah. I mean, don't solicit me for shit that I can make on my own. So, that. I'm sorry.
Well, that you can critically think and decide for on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah, but anyway, so AI will make us lazy. Yes. There's
in a sense, yeah, I can see that.
Well, there's jobs out there that don't need to be. I mean, like, you got these, of course, I told you I was going to touch on education. That, from grade school all the way up to college. 30, 40 years ago, you would spend less money for a better education. And, you guys, you're going to call me conventional. Oh, shut up, old man. It's like, I want those days. This is back before when I was born, right? And now the college education you're getting is, minimum $250,000 for a bachelor's degree, and you're hey, you want underwater basket weaving? Sure, here's the degree. Now cough up the $250,000. There's curricula out there that shouldn't be that expensive, and because you're getting less. The product that a lot of these colleges are offering is crap. And a lot of these colleges are being run as businesses, not institutes of learning. You see it all the time. And of course,
institutional indoctrination.
Yeah, it is. So you got these people who are, paid through the nose, and student loans. They're gonna be paying on that shit for the rest of their fucking life, and they're gonna feel entitled because they did this to get better paying jobs. I'm telling you right now, society is going down. I mean, that's a completely different topic, but I'm just saying that you got these people who are getting jobs that are really not sustainable, like graphics designers. That job market is completely oversaturated.
Oh, huge.
You see it on Twitter all the time. You see it on YouTube. You see it on Twitch. Just by adverts or whatever. It's terrible. But that's going to be an industry that's going to be completely done by AI, as it should be, and it should be cheap.
Yeah. I mean, most of them now that are graphic designers are doing it through AI anyway, and just charging an arm and a leg for it.
Exactly. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that art is useless, because art really gives you a purpose to life. No, you can't have my dragon. I'm playing with my little Transformer dice dragon. My little guy's like, I don't want to play it. No, these are my toys. Your toys are over there. Go watch your show, buddy. And you need to go to sleep.
Same.
He'll probably go to sleep right when we start doing the bang bang shooty shooty, and I'm gonna scream like a little girl, and he's gonna be like, oh, Dad's at it again.
That's so peaceful.
I know, right?
My night noises.
Anyway, back to this. Anyway, like autocorrect. I mean, Kish can attest to this. When I watch his streams, I got fat thumbs and I'm typing on a freaking mobile phone because I'm an idiot, and it doesn't like. He's like, what are you trying to say? He's usually pretty good at figuring out some of the the autocorrect ease or whatever. I think I need to retrain my autocorrect to tell me or to not do what it does, but whatever. It does make us lazy. And of course, we had this conversation with an individual in the community where the whole question mark. I'm a smart writer. I know I'm literate. I know what that question marks usually mean. Confusion. It's like, no, a question mark is a query for more information. It's just, okay. Oh my god. But anyway, so there's nothing wrong with the machinery assistant. This is what the article says. There's nothing wrong with this machinery assistance till we ask ourselves, how do we spend this free time? The chances are low that we will grab a book or start learning a new language. More likely, we will scroll social media or watch a TV series. Maybe not social media for my part, but I would most certainly love that new time and brush up on some language skills that I've got. They're all but rusty, but that's just me. Or I'd probably end up binge watching a TV series or something. But there's that, and then no, not that one. Where is it? Yeah, AI will change our perception of information. This is big, okay? With the pruning that's going on with media corporations doing what they're doing and towing the party line, literally. I will liken our news apparatus to be state-sponsored, much like Pravda, and it's a juxtaposition. We're talking about the doom of the human race while my little guy's giggling in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not, but
oh yeah, it fits perfectly.
Yeah, it's like with all the stuff that's going on with all the different alphabetic news agencies, like the legacy media, they're kind of trimming the narrative, and I actually looked into Fox News, and they're actually getting subsidized by government contracts. So they only push, the things out, like, the Hunter Biden laptop thing and all the crap that's going on right now. The media cycle, for the most part that I'm seeing, is, oh, Trump this, Trump that. Dude, it's been over fucking 4 years. Let it go, man.
Oh yeah,
who gives a rat's fucking ass? And then trying to rake him through the coals for, like, him having relations with a hooker. I don't care. Matter of fact, I want to make sure that my freaking commander-in-chief is relaxed. I don't want him to be pushing the red button just because he had a bad day.
Yeah, you don't want him on edge.
Yeah, no, I want him to be able to look at all that stuff, surround himself. You know, I'm not saying that he did this, but I want him to be able to just kick back, relax, look at things logically, and say, all right, well, if I do this, this will happen. What else could happen, etc., etc. That's all I need. But that's just me. So there's that, and apparently somebody wants me to join a party, but. Anyway, this right here is scary. This is what matters here, okay? This cat right here, he made himself look really good. He decided to look like Tom Cruise. And that's using an AI program, a deep fake. And there's a bunch of other instances out there where you have President Kim Jong-il, whatever the fuck his name is. Somebody impersonated him. And thankfully, he said, you could tell it was fake because that was, this is out for entertainment purposes and whatnot. But it mimicked their mannerisms and mimicked their accent and mimicked everything about them. And if you were to play the same, other sample video of the genuine article, you wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. There's that one video out there where, or not video, but somebody playing Minecraft, where you had what sounded like Trump, Obama, and Bush going after Biden's base in Minecraft, blowing the shit out of it, whatever. It was hilarious to listen to. But
there's tons of conversations like that online now. Where you hear, like Trump and Biden going back and forth over stuff.
But you take that and you couple that with a deep fake thing, where I can actually overlay on my face and it will change it in real time of what I'm saying, and it'll process things, and it's nuts. It's crazy. So with the changing perception of information and the information flow goes to AI will control our behavior, and I'm not above this. I'm not inoculated to it, but it's going to be a bad thing. It's going to be a real bad thing if we don't, bolster and try to educate ourselves on how to fight against this. I don't know, but because I said something about it. Oh my God, we don't need that. I get that autoplay thing, but because I actually posted it in my no, not that. Echelon. There we go. So this is the guy that got me thinking about this. So if you do want to educate yourself more, somebody who actually scripts this shit and does it way better than I ever could, check his channel out. He started out with gaming and stuff like that, but he
and that's definitely a good video about the AI too. Yeah. I checked it out.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but having me saying all that and doing this verbal diarrhea spewed out to you guys, do you guys have any thoughts, Kish, Labar, Kish or Rue?
Just to add on a little bit.
Okay.
Like how you were saying how it's, what was it? How it's forming like the thoughts, like that last article you were reading, basically. Mm-hmm. And like a lot of them are biased at certain points. Like you won't get the straight up. A lot of people think that the information they get from AI is just 100% facts, but it is biased by the creators of the AI.
Yeah, it's based on just like your search engines have their own algorithms and stuff like that, and they cater to, your whatever. The AI, like your Siri and your Google and your Amazon little Fire things and whatnot, they're all kind of based off the same thing. They got their own things that they run by, and that'll kind of affect the flow of information coming to you.
Right.
And then to touch on the topic again of like how you said, like Trump's being accused now of that, like that chick,
right,
from paying her, being with her, whatever. Like, what's to say with the AI, with all the stuff they can come out, like they can make those videos and stuff, a picture doesn't surface of it. That's completely fabricated through AI. You know what I mean? Like, this stuff can just cause a lot of problems.
Yeah.
If people don't actually go out and, critically think.
Well,
do their own research. Even with that, it's kind of hard, though.
Well, you know, actually, I just realized, you know, it's like if you make decisions based on things that you've seen, that you know was operated or put together in bad faith, that's gonna sway things, or actually, it's like, hey, you know, it's like, what about that thing with Tide Pods? Kids forgetting, yeah, this is a cool thing. Tide Pods are edible. Brr.
Yeah.
You know, on the one hand, if you're stupid enough to freaking put detergent in your mouth, and no parent around to tell you different, okay, that's Darwin at work. Right?
Yeah, that's just natural selection right there.
Yeah. But on the other hand, you know, with two parent homes, you can't make a good household or make a good living with only one parent working, right? For most people, because that's, you know, I mean, I'm not throwing stones, you know, I'm right there with you guys, but two parents, you know, trying to freaking make a living, you know, they're out and about working, and you know, the 11-year-old who doesn't, you know, hasn't had that formative thing say, do this, don't do that, no, don't do that, do this, you know, basically becoming your own household Hitler. You know, because that's how I run my life, or how I run my house, right? It's, you know, people, you know, kids are sitting in front of their screens all day. I'm guilty of this myself. I'm just a big kid, you know, where I'm sitting there in front of screens pretty much all day. You know, what am I consuming? What's the media that I'm consuming? Because that's what it is. You know, I mean, people use Google or YouTube or Facebook or whatever as a low cost babysitter in a lot of cases. And then,
definitely.
And we're not even talking about how that can actually damage thought, you know, your brain and thought patterns. You know, because, you know, I mean, you know, gaming is addictive. Mayo Clinic already, you know, closed the door on that. So everything in moderation, really. But like I said, this is, you know, the whole AI and critical thinking subject wasn't going to be a one and done thing. You know, this is touching on a lot of different pillars. Well, used to be pillars of society to make things, you know, perpetuate and add to the future. You know, I mean, something that's self-sustaining. And a lot of those pillars are gone, so things are going to run rampant and things are going to get bad. They're definitely going to get bad. It's the only thing that we can do on a personal level is, you know, not add to the problem. I mean, I got no solutions other than, hey, watch out. You know, make good decisions based on the information that you have at your disposal. But when information gets curated for you to think a certain way that's incorrect, I mean, just lock some critical thinking in your head. That's all there is to it. You know, I mean, there's not a lot of that as it is now, but with AI being able to, oh wow,
what's up?
Oh yeah, if we all start listening to AI generated music and reading AI generated novels in the near future, it won't seem so far-fetched. Even now, AI is fairly good at it. It's sometimes difficult to tell if an art piece was created by human or machines. Now that right there was actually generated by an AI writer. That's insane. Art.
Yeah, how many articles are just written by straight AI now?
You know, all you know, the slap that was heard around the world, notwithstanding. I still like the movie I, Robot. But, you know, that meme is hilarious to me. Can a robot take a blank canvas and turn it into a masterpiece? Well, can you? Fuck, no. It's like, yeah, who's more human? But I just thought it'd be kind of curious to you know, start a conversation at least. So, I mean, that's all I got for you guys. And I think we kind of beat that dead horse into the ground, didn't we?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Kicked it a few times.
Yeah, send it off to the glue factory because we need to get something out of it. So, there you have it, folks. I will leave Upper Echelon's video link in the description. Crouch Kish's Twitch, the purple channel as it were, will also be in the description, along with the invite link into my Discord, just in case you might disagree with our suppositions of what we've said. in this chat. If for nothing else, good group of people come in and have differing opinions, I'm all for it. I like to hear other sides of the story. But until next time, guys, stay out of trouble. It's a full-time job and the pay sucks, but it's worth it. Take it easy, guys.